Hey, aloha and good morning. I am barely awake, but I just couldn't wait to get this video started for you. I walked out to do a little bit of stretching and not complaining at all, but just after you see the sleepy face after a couple of very intense days and a couple of nowhere near enough sleep nights and tremendous amounts of stuff to get done today. And I woke up, I was laying in bed, and I just couldn't stay there. I just couldn't lay there. I knew 2 or 3 more hours of sleep would have been perfect for me to actually catch up, so to speak. But I just couldn't do it. I tell you what, the inspiration of the last few days has really been mounting up for me. Starting this new Conscious Creators 2.0 program, all the people that I've been communicating with, the enthusiasm that's coming through in the group. And I tell you what, I got this feeling largely because of a conversation I had yesterday with a great healer, Dr. David Tribus, who I'll be sharing more about him soon. If you guys haven't seen him, he's an amazing guy. And we had a great conversation yesterday, and I got this vision of what could happen if we really stepped all the way up. There's a phrase, I'm a big fan of a group out of Canada, Rush. I've been a huge fan of them for, 30 years now. Almost 40 years. It's amazing. These guys have been around forever. And there's a song they put out called Middletown Dreams. It's basically about how so many people kind of sleep through life. They don't step into their dreams, so they dream about the things they wish they were going to do. And one of these days they're going to do it. And there's a part about a guy who's getting up in life, and he's pretty much at the point of, he knows he's never going to do anything, but he's still got this dream. It says, he'll go walking down those tracks any day now for sure. Another day as drab as today is more than a man can endure. And I'll tell you now, my life is not drab, but I can just relate to even me, even living on the edge the way I do. I've been pretty much living on the edge my whole life. These last couple years, since I got inspired to start Level 5 mentoring, living this life of transformation and constantly being on the cutting edge, going out and risking and doing all the crazy stuff that I do, I think I'm playing small. I think I'm still playing small. And this morning my inspiration was, dude, what would happen if you actually got off your ass and really stepped up to do the things that you're capable of doing? What if you really looked at the things that you want to change in the world, the things you want to change, the people that you want to love, the people you want to touch, the changes that you want to be a part of? What if you actually stepped up and started doing it with a much more broad scale and a much more of a long-term focus? And interesting how things show up. I've got a multi-billionaire client who has kind of taken over. I'm his mentor in the Level 5 sense, but he has kind of become my business mentor. And he challenged me the other day. He said, Brian, people underestimate what they can do, or they overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in a decade. Why don't you think long term? And you know, I just thought, holy shit, long term for me is like about 5 hours from now. Maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. What could I do in a week? I've never taken a long-term view, and today is the day. I'm just publicly announcing that I'm stepping up my game. I invite you to consider doing the same. What are some things you'd like to do? What in your marriage? What with your kids? What with your friends? If you're not married, if you want to be. In your relationships, what are some things you'd really like to change? Some things that you really aren't satisfied with the way they are. Not about making wrong right, not about fixing the bad, but what are some things you'd like to change? What are some things you'd like to have show up differently in your life? What are some things in the world that you really would like to see differently? That if you stepped up your game today and you focused on it, you could make a massive difference, bigger than you ever imagined. You know, people ask the question, I talk about this in Level 5 pretty frequently. People ask the question, well, what can one person do? And they ask it rhetorically. What can one person do? Bullshit! What can one person do? What can I do over the next 10 years? What can I do in the next year? What can I do today to take one action? Thank you, Barbara Weber, for that tip. What can I do today? One thing that's going to move me closer to everything that I want. And what if I picked 5 or 6 topics and I took one action in every single one of them, and I mapped it out, and I followed it consistently? I don't know about you. Maybe you are a goal setter. Maybe you do make it happen. I'm telling you, this is new territory for me, especially playing on the level that I'm talking about. Thanks for being in this world. Thanks for us having this world where I can share. Thanks for enjoying this video. I hope it touched and inspired you in some way. I'm about to get busy. Love you with all my heart. Namaste, beautiful, infinite being of light.